Thanksgiving has come and gone and Christmas season is here. Come with me as I decorate our front porch for the Christmas season. Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today we are going to be saying goodbye to the fall decorations on the front porch and hello to Christmas. You can tell that we have had some cold nights. We have gotten every ounce of beauty out of these mums and our fall decorations, so it is time to say goodbye to them and hello to Christmas. Now I have a general idea of what I'm going to do as far as decorating my front porch, but you really never know what direction it's going to take. So this is just going to be a fun, you're just going to come along with me as I decorate this area. It's just going to be a great thing. We've got lots of things happening today. The nursery is open, so we've got Sarah and Christine and Emily running the nursery. You might hear equipment behind me because Jackson and Jerry are back and forth with the equipment working at the greenhouses. So of course, you never know what's exactly going to happen during this video, so we're just going to go and have some fun decorating for Christmas. First thing we're going to do is get rid of all of the fall decorations. You'll remember we did this container back in the fall for our fall arrangement, and it has held up really well. I'm loving it, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave it and just add some faux berries to it. I would love to say that these are native wild berries from our our woods, but yeah, no, they're wild berries from Hobby Lobby. Our craft store. So what I'm going to do is, of course, these are wired, so I'm going to see if my scissors will cut them, which they're not. But they snap. There we go. So then what we're going to do is just tuck, because of course it has the wires in there. We're just going to tuck the berries down into the container. Now I am going to do more of an arrangement in the aqua pot that is by our front door. So I will make sure to kind of incorporate some more elements that are in this one and that one too. Scissors are not working. Megan, do you think you could go find?
Yeah, I think I know where they are.
Okay, go find something. It works, but it's not very easy to work, so we're just gonna tuck those in there like such. And this is just where you have fun. But if you do have some nandinas around or hollies that give you some nice, really pretty red berries, then of course just go for that and go you know, go foraging in your yard or the woods nearby and get some great berries and stick in there, because you just love that red, that pop of red in there. Makes it fun, dresses it up, makes it very Christmassy. I had done one, you know, the window boxes, and I did those, and I added some magnolia leaves to that to kind of beef it up a little bit. And somebody asked me, they're like, oh my gosh, what is that great green plant that has those really nice red berries? And I was like, oh yes, that is a very rare and unique plant that can only be found in the floral department of Hobby Lobby. Let's see, we might add one more somewhere. Let's see what we got here. You know what, actually, I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, because that's 3, and 3 is a great odd number. So I'm just going to leave it like that. All I wanted to do was just give it just a little something something to kind of dress it up. And then we'll use either these berries or another berry when we redo the aqua pot for the winter planting of that. But for me, that's fine enough. We have this great aqua pot from Proven Winners that is right here by the front door. I have talked to y'all several times about if you have an aqua pot out exposed, out in the elements, then you need to make sure that you properly empty it, get rid of all the water, and turn it upside down for the winter time. Because for me, in my opinion, it is not worth the risk of having water in here, then it freezes, you know, on cold nights, and it cracks your aqua pot. All of my aqua pots that are out exposed, we will have that done to them. They will be emptied, turned upside down for the winter. This one, however, is obviously underneath the front porch in a nice big covered area. There's no way that water is going to get in this pot unless I am the one that puts water in here. There has been no water added to this pot for multiple weeks now, and the soil is pretty, it's damp, but it's not soaking wet. What I'm going to do is attempt, and notice I said attempt, to kind of tip this to the back to see if any of the water will pour out of that hole in the back. I've gone back and forth on what I want to do as far as this container. You know, do I want to leave it out? Do I not? I am going to leave it out during the winter. I am only going to have, as far as living plants, this upright U in here. I am going to move it, and then I'm going to have just greenery stuck in here for the Christmas holidays, New Year's, and then beyond. So we'll see what happens after that. I am going to move this U though from the back more towards the center, and so that way I can take all the different kind of greenery and just build this up for the holiday seasons. But right now what I'm going to attempt to do, because this is the Majestic Falling Blue aqua pot. It is part of the professional series of the aqua pots, and this is considered the medium one. The big ones, the full size ones, the biggest ones are those ones that are at the pergola, in front of the pergola, and this is its companion piece for that. So the drainage hole is back here in the back. I'm going to tip it as far as I feel comfortable. If no water comes out, then clearly if there is some water, it's just a very little bit at the very bottom. So I'm just going to wrestle this thing. So Megan says there's a good flow of water coming out. So we're just going to sit here and let it drain out as much as it can. So that's a great tip if you want to leave your aqua pots out for the winter. You need to make sure, of course we are in North Carolina, zone 7B, and even though we don't have extremely cold winters, say like if you were in Michigan or, you know, New York State, we still do get some weeks and some nights that get pretty cold, you know, down in the 20s. I know for some of y'all you're just laughing going, Jenny, that's not cold. But for us in North Carolina, that is cold, and it is below freezing. So if we get multiple weeks or days in a row rather of having really cold temperatures, and when I say cold, I mean in those 20s and the teens, it can freeze and it will freeze this water. So we want to get as much water out of here as we possibly can. If you want to take the risk and leave your aqua pot out and exposed, then that's fine. That's not a problem. But I'm just telling you what we're doing here. Is it still really pouring out?
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I got it. It's not going anywhere. So we're just going to sit here and let the vast majority of this water come out of here. All right, let's just go ahead and pull it up. All right, water's out. What we're going to do is we're going to move the upright U to the center and build out from there. This is just going to be where it's the fun artistic. We're going to go into the woods. I've got some great greenery. When we got our Christmas tree, we get live Christmas trees, and we went to the Christmas tree farm and they had this whole stack of greenery that they had when they were trimming trees to give to people, put it on their cars and trucks, and it was free. So they were just giving this stuff away, which of course I gobbled up a ton of it because we can use this in all sorts of applications. So we're going to use this. We're going to go out into the woods. We're going to grab a couple of magnolia leaves, branches, probably some cedar and some holly to fill in this area. So let the fun begin.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. La 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 la. It is a season to be jolly. La 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Ba la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Ba la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us. Ba la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Yeah, yeah. Follow me in merry measure while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Away the old year passes. Oh, hail the new year, lads and lasses. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Ba la 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 la.
Pot's all done. We're very pleased with how it came out. And we might add some lights to this. We're not quite sure yet. And there might still be some holes that I might come back in here and tweak in and fill in. You know, things like this you just kind of have to play with and fiddle with and look at it. But I'm loving, these are all like the native magnolias, just a native cedar. And then of course the Fraser fir greenery that we got from the Christmas tree farm, and then that upright yew, and it did great. And then our faux berries that bring a gorgeous pop of red to this pot. And of course that's mimicked over there with the hydrangea pot also. And you know what I might also do, Megan, is I thought about this, is I might play around with getting some more hydrangea blooms and filling in holes with the hydrangea blooms. What do you think? All right, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to clean up our mess and move on to the next project.
Tis the season to be jolly. Oh, ba la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Ba la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Ba la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us. Ba la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Oh, follow me in merry measure while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Away the old year passes. Hail the new year, lads and lasses.
So now the fun of getting the garland draped across the door shall begin. Megan and I went ahead and wrapped it in lights. That's always a fun thing to do, but it helps having an extra pair of hands doing that. This is live garland. Again, got it at that great Christmas tree farm that we went to, and it's gorgeous. It's a mix of pines and the Fraser fir, all sorts of things, and it is lit up with a ton of lights. So now we've just got to get it attached to the door. So we're getting there. It's always fun. Slowly but surely. So this garland is a lot longer than the garland that I had last year. Last year it did the perfect swag in the middle and then it draped down. We've got a lot more. So what we're going to do is just kind of let it spin around and splay out on the ground.
I have this side pushing that way. Do you want me to grab that and push it?
No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get an extension cord and bring that back around, so it'll.
Okay.
I think we'll see, and then we're gonna get the blower and get the porch cleaned up because it's a mess. So, fun continues. Perfect. Front porch is all decorated and ready for Christmas. What a difference just an hour or two makes. I mean, it was looking a little sad to begin with, but now we are nice and festive. I love it. I can't wait until the sun goes down and it gets to be a little dusky and we can see the garland all lit up, but it is just a great festive front entrance to our house. So just as a little recap, remember we did this container this past fall. Hear the wind chimes? It's a little windy today. But we did this fall container using Proven Winners Desert Plains grass, their dried limelight hydrangea blooms. And so I did go ahead and bring some over here and echo them into this arrangement also. And then their fantastic Red Rover Euchera, that is a perennial. They are all potted in there and thriving quite well. Of course, the Desert Plains grass, we have had temperatures in the 20s, so it will not stay green year round. So it is starting to take on those brown colors. It is not dead, it is just going dormant. And then, of course, we stuck in our faux red berries from the craft store. Megan took over and did the cotton cedar right here for me. We had a lot of the Fraser fir greenery left over, so she filled it up, put in some more red berries, and put in our sweet little copper angel that I found a couple of years ago at a garden shops up in the mountains. So she is in there, the garland. Loving this wreath. Full disclosure, if you love the wreath, it's LL Bean. So just go to LL Bean. I said, you know what? It's just easier to order it from them this year. This was my first time ordering from them. And it came packaged beautifully. It came with a hanger on it, so I didn't have to worry about hanging it. I literally took it out of the box and put it on the door. But I love how it just mimics with the red berries and just all the different colors. It all ties in quite nicely. And then, of course, this aqua pot, remember I moved that U to the center and then just filled it in with all sorts of greenery that Megan and I just went to the woods and got. So we have the Fraser fir that was free from the tree farm, cedars, magnolias, the limelight, dried limelight, hydrangea blooms, more red berries, and just filled it in. You just kind of start somewhere with your base and then just fill in as you go. If you have a hole, go find something and stick it in there to fill it in. And then of course my sweet joy sign that my sweet friend Heather made for me. She's a fantastic artist, does all sorts of neat things, and so she made that, which I love, and I bring it out at Christmas. So anyway, I hope you have found this maybe a little bit inspirational, that you have gotten some ideas that you can incorporate into your home. As always, thank you so much for gardening with Gardening with Christmas. Yeah, that's going to be our new slogan for the next couple of weeks. Gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.